Welcome, people of Wraith. Some of you guys seem like you were interested in my little story time, so just gonna go ahead and talk over some Talishar gameplay. This is not me playing, it's just some randoms on Sage. Just wanted to have a little something for y'all to watch, as you know, I don't really do face cam, so I'll have something for you guys to watch. If you're just a listener, then go ahead and get some popcorn, get some water. Nothing crazy, we're just gonna go over how everything went. So, starting off on Thursday, me and my buddies were driving down to Philly. It's about like a 7 hour drive for us. Nothing crazy. We were playing like a game, guess the card, and you can only ask like yes or no questions. So, we killed about like 2 hours doing that, just talking. And also, if you hear a bird chirping, I'm so sorry. That's my neighbor's fire alarm. I promise that's not my alarm. I got enough of you guys on the other YouTube videos, so yeah, don't mind them. So we got to the venue around 7:20-ish, just in time before the keynote started. The keynote was pretty lit. I mean, some people were upset about some things, like Sage being a vote to rotate the heroes format. And let me know in the comments how you guys feel about that. I felt like the crowd was pretty upset. I personally think it's really cool, but some people did not like it. Thursday, pretty simple. Nothing really happened. Friday, one of my boys was playing at Worlds. So we were like 10 deep at the Airbnb, and he was the only one playing at Worlds. So he went to bed early. We went to like Chinatown, got some food, walked around for a bit. Nothing crazy. It was nighttime, so there wasn't a lot going on. Then Friday morning, we walked to the venue kind of late since we didn't have Worlds. I didn't really do much Friday. I think I just played the High Seas Sealed event. I just cheered my boy on. He got to day two, so we were all really gassed about that. And then three of my buddies were also playing in the calling for LL. So we went back. They had to go to sleep a little early. And of course, day two of Worlds was going to happen on Saturday. So, a couple of us went to sleep early, a couple of us partied. And then, yeah, Saturday, they went ahead and played Worlds. Most of them did pretty good. Two of them made day two. And then I believe my friend playing Worlds cashed. I think he got somewhere like, man, forgive me if I'm wrong. I think he got like 40th or something. So he cashed. We were really happy about that. A couple of my boys made day two, so we were gassed. And I played the High Seas Sealed event. I think that was on Friday that I might have done it. And I got the Dash.io promo, which looks a lot better in person than I thought it. Like when I saw it online, I was like, oh, these promos are not it, especially compared to the beach promos. But once you get it in person, they actually look really nice. So yeah, I was pretty happy to get that. And then I think Saturday I just played like a side event, CC. I went 3-1. I only lost to a Verdance that I usually feel pretty good about playing Verdance, but yeah, they weren't even active. I don't think they even decomposed once, but they were just killing me, and like maybe my hands weren't lining up. I can't remember too much. It was a side event, so I didn't feel too bad about it. Got a couple tickets. I think I just sold them to people that wanted to buy tickets to get some things. Now, at the end of Saturday, since two of my boys went to day two, and then one of them cashed Worlds, we were just like celebrating. We went to Korean barbecue, Mr. Pig. It was just a nice, good food. I think like three people were celebrating birthdays or something. I don't know. We were just eating, and then out of nowhere, some person with a big pig hat just came out, started dancing. The whole restaurant turned into a club. It was kind of crazy. But that place was pretty good. Mr. Pig in Philly. Sunday, that was the real deal. That was the battle hardened. I was looking forward to it all day. Me and my boy Dan were playing in different battle hardens. So I was just telling him, like, yup, like you're winning that one and I'm winning this one. I was playing Syndra, as I think a lot of you guys know. I've been playing Syndra the whole ProQuest season, so I've been feeling really good. Haven't been touching LL, which is why I didn't really want to go to the calling. I wasn't really having too much fun with the format. But I know a lot of people don't like the CC format right now. I personally have been enjoying it, but I'm playing Syndra. It's like she's just the best deck of the format. And I just think that like playing her, I can see why I'm enjoying it, but why other people don't enjoy it makes a lot of sense. So Saturday night, I went to sleep pretty early. Sunday, one of my boys, Josh, was gassing up this like smoothie place. So we went there in the morning. I got like a ginger and beet shot and a smoothie, and I felt like super prepared. Round one, I played against Dash.io and I lost the dice roll, and I was just like, damn, I lost. Like, Dash.io is a pretty hard matchup, especially if you go second, because their turn one, he did a Cerebellum and set up a Teklo core. Passed. I was like, all right, like, I'm probably gonna lose. Let me see what I can do. I think I got him to like 20 or something like that. Then he took his second turn. I went from 40 to like 12. And I was like ready to. I was just dooming. I was like, damn, this is it. I lost my round one. It's over for me. But I also kept telling myself, like, I'm going to win. I'm going to win. I'm going to win. And that's something that I tried to like keep the whole energy, the whole tournament. I just kept telling myself, like, I'm going to win. I'm going to win. And it kind of helped a lot. Sometimes the battle in your mental is really like if you start tilting and you start misplaying, it's just gonna get to you. So I was trying to keep a positive attitude. I was at 12 life points. I think he was like at 20 or something. But then I managed to claw my way back and I beat that. And I was really happy. I think that as I kept winning, I was like, if I do good in the early rounds, my later rounds are just gonna be like Syndra and Gravy and Verdance. And the Syndra mirror, it's kind of iffy, but if I'm playing against Verdance and Gravy, I felt really good. So round two, I went against Vincent, and I was like, damn, another tough matchup. Like, okay, like I'm a little negative, but like I said, I kept telling myself, I'm gonna win, I'm gonna win. And I was playing a little more defensively into her because when I've just played like recklessly in attack, I usually lose. Vincent wants to like block out a little bit, do big turns. I got pretty lucky that they blocked with two of their CNC. I think it's like the widespread destructions. So one turn I was able to block out. They were sending like the 4 for 6. If you've been dealt damage, discard a card from your hand. So I took 4. I blocked 6. And then I banished a card from my hand and I arsenaled like a fire tenant or something, like strike first. And yeah, I was super scared about the matchup, but I was able to slow down, keep my life up, and arsenal something. And playing around him only having one wide destruction left made me feel a little more confident in playing, slower, taking a setup turn. So I passed on my setup turn, and Vincent like played maybe like one card and passed. And I think at the end of the game, he told me he had like 3D reacts in hand. So a little bit of luck, a little bit of me playing smart. I was able to make my opponent like IP3 or something. And then I had like a 5 card hand. It was still a tough matchup, but he played very well. But I got a little lucky, especially him seeing two of his wide destructions so early allowed me to just make that safer plan of like, let me set up and do like a big pop off turn. So I won that. I felt pretty good. Round three, I'm against Gravy Bones. I'm like, all right, nice. My plan is working. Like, I beat my 2 tough matchups. I should just be playing like meta. So I'm playing Gravy Bones. He's like drawing kind of bad, but he's like drawing D reacts and 3 blocks. And I kid you not, he did like 3 chart the C's or chart the course. The one that like mills 2. If it's a blue, it's pitched. If it's a yellow, you get a gold. He would like block 9 or block 10 with a D react or something, play chart. He got chumped twice. So it was pretty crazy. We were going down together in life. A lot of the times, Gravy can be very explosive. So him being very defensive and getting lucky with the charts really kept him in the game. but I managed to squeak that out. Round 4, another Gravy Bones. This was a lot closer. He wasn't really breaking like the first one. He was doing like a little more explosive plays. I got kind of fortunate. I side Warmongers against Gravy. I don't know if a lot of Cinder players do that. And I saw two Warmongers pretty early in the game. I played Warmongers. He called War. And I think he did like Conqueror and like something very small, like a Murderous Rabble. Yeah, Warmongers was just MVP against Gravy. It's like they can summon allies and do nothing, and then you just farm them for the mask. You just farm up. Or they just attack you, and if they're not attacking you with allies, they don't really have a lot of attack power. So, shout out to Warmongers. That was a lot closer than the other Gravy game, but Warmongers really came through. Round 5 was a Verdance player. She was pretty good. She was blocking me really well, but I was just drawing super hot. Sometimes I feel kind of bad when I play Wrath. I personally think LSS is gonna ban Wrath of Retribution because that card is insane. I think I beat that Verdance player like 28-0. Um, the early game was pretty good. They were blocking me out really good. But once I got my Wrath turn, I just took complete tempo of the game. I think it was like Brand, Yellow Brand, Wrath, and a cut through. So I just did like Brand and then Wrath pitching my yellow, dagger, cut through, flick, do my other dagger, give it go again. Like it was just a crazy turn. So I beat that. Feeling pretty good. I'm like 5-0. Round 6 gets called, and I look at my phone and I see Jacob Clemens. Now, I'm sure some of you guys know who that is. Me, I love Flesh and Blood. I'm always on the competitive scene. So I'm like, oh, damn, like Jacob Clemens. I'm a little panicked, but then I just take a deep breath and I'm like, I keep telling myself what I've been telling myself. I'm going to win. I'm going to win. I sit down and I ask him, like, who are you playing? He says Mario. And one of my boys, Thomas, has been playing Mario the whole ProQuest season. I know this deck is real. I know my game plans. I have hunts to the end of Wraith against Mario because, man, I just don't want to lose to Mario, and I've been playing them so much. I have Warmongers because they play a lot of dagger pumps. So, needless to say, I was prepared for the matchup, but it just didn't go my way. He like did cut from the same cloth turn 1, saw my whole hand, and I had an ancestral, so I got marked to turn 1. He didn't leak any damage turn 1. I won the dice roll and chose to take a second. I think I put him down to like maybe like 22 or something. He just let me get the mass draw, and honestly, when you're playing against an assassin and they just don't block you and let you get your mass draw, it's gonna be tough. He proceeds to do like a ranger like turn, sending like a kiss of death for like something crazy, like 14 or something. Just starts taking complete control of the game, resolves 2 codexes. Yeah, as prepared as I was, like he was drawing pretty hot. We talked about it at the end of the game. He was like, yeah, like I drew pretty good. I resolved 2 codexes. I had the Warmongers in and I revealed it off of Ravenous, so it was like it was so bad. I think he noticed that I revealed Warmongers, and usually like people are confused, but I think he was more like, oh, like this dude was prepared for Mario. Like Warmongers would have been crazy on that turn where he just played a bunch of pumps. But I lost to him. Don't feel bad at all because he ended up being second. So it was a tough game, but I'm unfavored against Mario, even though I had some tech for him. Round 7, I sit down and my friend is playing a brute, and I'm like, he's playing KO to be more specific, and I'm just like, ugh. I'm used to playing my boy Josh, a brute master, and as well as Noah Bagelman. If you guys know, you guys know. They kind of like traumatized me with KO. Like people say it's Syndra favored, but like when you're playing these good KO players, like it's an uphill battle. But yeah, so I was a little nervous. I'm like, all right, this is gonna be tough. I'm used to getting like rocked by the KOs that I usually test against. So but I had to lock in. I kept telling myself I was gonna win. We actually got called for a deck check, and I low key love when I get deck checked because that just like showing me like, yeah, I'm doing good. We get deck check. We're just talking while the judges are checking our stuff. My judge comes back and he calls my opponent. It's like, "Can I talk to you over there?" And I was like, "Oh, did I just get a free win? Like, what happened?" He comes back and he's just like, "Oh, I just can't use my custom art claw. I have to use a regular one." And I was like, "Okay." The game was pretty. We kind of both bricked. He was like missing off his discards, discarding like tear limb from limb. I won a dice roll. I chose to go second. My hand was like Art of Dragon Fire, Ancestral, Blaze Hedgehog, Art of Dragon Blood. It was just like a weird game. We were going pretty slow, but I was able to win. It was a close game. We were like both at single digits, but yeah. Shout out Josh and Noah because testing KO against them really prepared me for all these other KO players. Then round 8, this is the last round. I'm X1. I'm like, all right, this is it. I'm going to be top 8. And then I'm going to win the battle hardened. Like, I got this. I sit down, and it's against an Acilio player, and I get gassed. I'm like, yes, Acilio, this should be a good matchup for me. And my opponent is like super friendly, super chill guy. I win the dice roll. I choose to go first, so he can't leak any arcane damage. I get him from 30 to 36. He keeps 2 cards. He plays Sigil of Lightning and Sigil of Brilliance. At the start of his turn, he pops his arms, and he also blocked with his arms, turn 1. So he gets like an amp 2. He draws a card from Sigil of Brilliance, and he has an embodiment. So he's like amp 2, 5 cards in hand, embodiment of lightning. He does like electric magnetism, the 1 for 5 that lets you play in a non-attack as an instant. Plays that, plays a lightning valley, amps, just like etchings of Arcana or something. The one that gives you back a sigil for like 5 or 6. Cause he amped Volsar for 2. His arms amped him for 2, so it was like 7. He got back a Sigil of Brilliance, and I'm over here like, oh my god, like, all right, I'm gonna lose. But I was like, no, I can't think like that. I'm gonna win. I'm gonna win. Whatever. I have my turn. I get a little greedy because I have a yellow brand and 2 1 cost, and I'm like, okay, I'm gonna pitch to my dagger so I can get some value out of my chest. This is like my second turn, and my chest has no counters. Let me like get a little bit of value out of my chest because this game's gonna be over in like 2 turns. And he has it's like a headpiece like Kappa Forward Thinking or something. You discard an instant to prevent 1 damage. And he just prevented the kunai. I couldn't take my vest. He used that headpiece for like maybe 3 to 4 value. It was really good. I didn't even think that like that headpiece was gonna get so much value. Just denying my vest trigger. I couldn't even flick. Like I flicked, but he just denied it, and I wasn't able to get that extra resource. And I was like, okay, you know what? Like it's fine. I was like at 20, and I think I got him down to like maybe like 25 or something. I have like an Art of Dragon Fire in my arsenal. And since I did that play with the kunai, I wasn't able to get the extra resource to get it out the arsenal. And I was like, you know what? It's gonna be fine. Like, I'll get it out next turn. Next turn, he does some plays and is able to do like an amp 4 with Destructive Aether Tide. And I lose my Art of Dragon Fire. And I'm feeling like a clown. I'm like, yo, put the clown nose on me. Like, oh, I gave up so much value because I got greedy with my chest. And then yeah, he hit me with a Destructive Aether Tide. I was like, I lost, but I have to keep being positive, telling myself like I'm gonna win. I think he like ended up blocking with his legs on my last turn, and he ends up doing like Gone in the Flash, Blink, CLV, like he just starts going off. I start giving him like cards in my hand because I'm like, oh, this dude's gonna amp something crazy. I'm gonna have to like try to survive this turn and see if I can win. I do survive like his go off turn with Gone in the Flash, but I'm at two. It goes to my turn. I play a card, and he's like thinking in the layer step. He plays like cosine and does the Volsar to amp for one. I'm exactly at two, and I'm not bringing the Spell Void Dagger into Acilio. Maybe I should have. I just don't think it matters too much. It's not like Verdance where it's a lot slower. So maybe it's something worth thinking about. But he ends up beating me. I'm like X2. I lost round 6 and 8. And I'm just kind of on the copy. I'm like, yeah, maybe I'll still make top 8. Talking to all my friends, and they're like, yeah. And then I talk to my boy Will. He knows. He's a knower. He's like, yeah, bro, you're not in. I was like, damn. All right, let's go. Let's get out of here. Um, on the ride home, I saw like, yeah, I got ninth. I think if I lost round 7, 8, I would have made top 8. But I was proud of my performance. I'm pissed that I didn't get top 8, but it's okay. And the guy that won the whole event with the Cilio was my round 8 lost. So first place was the Acilio player, and second place was the Marionette player. So I was like, okay, you know what? Like my only two losses were literally to first and second place. So as bad as I did feel, I was like, okay, like I was still pretty happy. His name was Alexander Vor, so shout out to him. He was super chill, super friendly, played extremely well. Like sometimes when you play against Flesh and Blood players, they can be very, even myself, I'm like this very like reserved, very, thinking, kind of quiet. After the game's over, then it's pretty common to start chit chatting with your opponent. But during the whole game, he was just super friendly, super chill, and that's honestly the scariest when the players are just like chilling, having fun, and they're still cooking you. So shout out Alexander Vor. He won the Battle Hardened and couldn't even feel that bad. I am a little upset, but it just kind of fueled my drive, and now I'm like, I gotta go to more events. I gotta win. I gotta top 8. But that pretty much wraps the weekend up. My boy Josh cashed the calling event, so we were gassing him up. My boy Will cashed Worlds, so we were all really happy. My boy Dan, who was playing the other Battle Hardened, got 13th. He won X2. I think his only losses were to Marionette from Dan from the Runaways. So it's funny, it was a Dan mirror match. And I think he lost to Huntsman earlier in the rounds. He was telling me he just got blown out. Like the assassin matchup against ninjas have been notoriously bad. But overall, Philly was so fun. A bunch of great food, a bunch of awesome people I met. Shout out everybody that just said what's up to me in the events. I don't really like putting my face out there, so it always surprises me when people recognize me. I think I have like one short where I show my face, and I think that's how people know me. But that pretty much was it for the weekend. I'm not really gonna do a Syndra deck tech. I don't think they're very popular. If you guys are interested, maybe I'll put it in the description. Just leave a comment if you're interested, and I'll add it. I'm just probably gonna upload this, just bare bones. But yeah, that's pretty much it for the weekend. Shout out my boy Jock for driving us. He's a goat. And yeah, thank y'all so much for watching. Peace.